Today we're being joined by Wesley Thompson, an incarcerated individual who wants the world to know what's really happening behind the walls in Lucasville, Ohio. This is the same prison where a deadly riot in 1992 claimed the lives of both a correctional officer and several inmates, and its effects are still felt decades later. Wesley has spent 20 years behind bars serving a life sentence, and at 44 years old, he's seen firsthand the inhumane living conditions that have driven far too many to take their own lives. This is a story of truth, survival, and a system in desperate need of change. Welcome to Inmate Tea with AMP, where the voiceless are heard. I'm your host, April, and my co-host, Jailhouse Lawyer Pig, is on the line, and we're ready to get into it. Wesley, welcome to the podcast.
Your upbringing can make you mentally ill. That's where it starts a lot of times. It starts from your upbringing. The things that you experience from being a little shorty, that can affect you as you get older. Rehabilitation, to bring someone back to a normal, healthy condition after an illness. So we know rehabilitation is to reconstruct the way a person, imperfection or way of thinking is. It's dealing with your mental. So why is solitary confinement showing opposite in numerous individual inmates incarcerated to solitary confinement? Number one, the tactics and the structure the prison system used and applies to individuals confined to solitary confinement are dehumanizing and unjust. They deprive of human qualities and personalities and spirit of a person. That creates hopelessness. It makes people depressed. It makes people angry. It makes people unruly. And it makes an unruly and an aggressive environment. Instead of being part of a solution, they're being a mass part of the problem. In order to be part of the solution, you have to reconstruction. The only way you reconstruction and help, you have to refrain from the old way of doing things and go to the new way of things. Mm-hmm. You have to bring in positivity. You have to promote positivity and productiveness in the environment. With me, I look at it like I'm in solitary confinement. I'm doing 10 years in solitary confinement. Solitary confinement, it's a problem when you have inmates that's locked away for years without access to books. Don't know librarian where I'm at. You can't even get a book from a librarian back here. They don't give you books back here. You can't go to no programs from back here because the level of security where you're at. You're a high level security.
Wesley, where you're located, you're at a supermax prison, is that right?
I'm in a supermax prison.
Okay,
in Lucasville, Ohio.
Can you kind of outline to us what the difference is? Is it the whole prison? Does that way? Are y'all locked down all the time, or?
This is section. I'm on the level E section, and level E is basically it's the supermax part. Okay. Then you have the maximum part where you can walk the child, and you can walk to the library, you can walk to the gym, but everything is controlled movement. Then you got to go back to your cell. But on the part where I am, you're locked down 24 hours a day, and the only time you will come out is sometimes it's an hour a day, and that's for recreation. You have to have your clothes in your hands, and you have to be in your underwear. And when the COs come in, if they make you squat, cough, show a seat, make sure nothing's in your mouth, they'll cuff you up and shackle you to other inmates. And it's like you on a gang chain, like you chained up with other guys. And then they'll take you to recreation. But a lot of times when they come in, they'll just come in and be like, oh, you're not on the rec list. And then you walk back out. And then they'll walk back out. Or they may come in and make you strip. So you basically get stripped all the way down naked, squat and cough. And then they say, oh, your nails is too long. And then they'll walk right back out. So they basically make it look good for the camera and then just refuse you your rec.
Wow.
So that's what goes on. Yeah,
happened?
and behind it, it happens a lot. So now you're looking at, remind you, you don't get no books back here. Books are tools that you need. These are tools that you need to open up your mind, to help you be more productive, to give you knowledge, so you can use this to go out there into society. So now you're getting deprived with that because you're not getting no books back here. The programs show you different trades like building maintenance, carpentry. You getting deprived of that because a lot of guys that's in here, a lot of guys never probably even experienced that way of life, being productive. They came straight from the street. Learning, so if prison is supposed to rehabilitate you and you don't have no programs, and these are tools that's supposed to help you so you can be productive out there in society, you're getting deprived from this. Now recreation, when we look at recreation, and they come in the block, and they refuse to recreation, you need recreation to communicate with people.
Yeah.
So now that you're not being able to communicate with other individuals, let's not count this out. And you're on all restrictions. It's a lot of guys in here that's on supermax. So all restrictions mean no phones, no visits, no commissary. So now people that use the phone, that have life sentences and on supermax doing 10, 15 years on the lockdown block, the people that support you, that uplift you, and these are the people that make you fight to go home to, they depriving you from that because now you can't talk to your loved ones because you don't have no phone. You're not getting on the phone. You're on visit restrictions.
So Wesley, you're saying that you have no books. So how are you able to litigate your case? How are you able to expand your mind outside of this cell? Because you have no recreation, you have no books, you have very limited contact with the outside world in society. I'm pretty sure your mail is like my mail. It's electronically delivered, and you have to go through text behind it. So your mail is restricted. This becomes not only a lack of rehabilitation, but this is forming a major mental health issue because now the only person you have to contend with and deal with is the police. And when the officers are subjecting you to this type of treatment and this type of cruel and unusual atmosphere, now it becomes depressing. And this is where the suicide rate and the suicidal side of things come into play, because recreation is very key and vital to a healthy mental state, because you're getting out, you're getting fresh air, you're getting exercise, you're getting to communicate with other people. These books are key because books take your mind out of the present state and place it into another state where you can expand your mind to be able to be free. I mean, I know this because I've done 3 years straight on maximum confinement. So you've been back here for 10 years, but our listeners can only imagine what it's like to be locked in your bathroom for 10 years with nothing. That's what why Wesley is conveying to us today.
Yeah. And even studies show individual going outside, even for a small portion of time every day, is linked to a decreased mental issues and is a healthier person overall. Those are studies that link that and prove that. And I can't relate as far as the prison goes, but I can kind of relate to what we're talking about here. I work in the corporate world, so even being in in a corporate office during the day, my company even tells us we have to go out. We're given so many times a day that we're allowed to go outside and be outside because they know these studies and the importance of being outside.
Right. Right. And that's why I say, and that's why I basically touch bases on being part of the solution. You're being a massive part of the problem. Yeah. In order to be part of the solution, You have to rearrange your structure. They have to rearrange their structure. And only then can you help rearrange a person's mind frame to productiveness. You see what I'm saying? Only then can you change it like that. And that's why I was getting into that. And basically what I was saying is, you're in these cells basically now, like I was saying, like Pete was saying. So now you don't have no books. You're not going to rec. You're not getting visits. Now you're in these cells 24 hours a day. It's like you're in a black box. You're slowly deteriorating, mentally and physically. Because if you're not reading and you're not educating yourself, what are you doing? You're mentally deteriorating. How can you learn anything? How can you elevate? You're not elevating nowhere.
Yeah.
Your body's deteriorating. You're not eating enough. You're not eating. You're not getting enough food. So now you don't have access to learn anything in this kind of environment. So you become the environment. And that's what happens to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
They lose social skills. Their communication skills is not there. You will see guys where 2 minutes, they get into 2 minutes into a conversation, and now they cursing each other out because now they lacking communication skills. They become, so when dudes see that, they become antisocial. They become schizophrenic. Yeah. They become paranoid. And these are the conditions that a lot of guys are left with a lot of times in these conditions. And that's what where inmates that's doing a long period of time in these lockdown blocks, they can gradually earn their privileges back. You know what I'm saying? While being in these lockdown blocks. So they have something to look for. You know?
Yeah.
If you got dudes like me, they gave me up to 10 years. Give a dude, don't just, if a dude mess up, you know a lot of dudes that's in these environments, a lot of these dudes, some dudes have behavior problems. Some dudes, that's just how they are. Let them work back and get their privileges. Let them get their tablets back. If they sat in trouble for 6 months, let them get their tablets back. Don't just keep them on restriction for a year or 2 years. If they have a dirty urine or a piss test on a dirty urine, don't take their business away for 2 years. Don't do stuff like that. Because when you do stuff like that, you make a person hopeless, where they feel like they don't have nothing to live for. And then a lot of these young guys that's coming in the prison system that's doing a lot of time, so now they're doing a lot of time. They're doing 50, 60 years, and you done took my phone. You done took my visits. I can't get on the phone. My mother or my grandma are already on their deathbed, and something happened to them. The chaplain come in and tell me, but I don't have no way to respond to them. Now I'm getting ready to take this out on everybody. Now you're making the person hopeless. You're affecting their spirit, their soul.
Wesley, what about somebody that's about to be released from prison? Do they stay there until they're released?
If somebody's in here, they stay in here. Like I know a couple of guys in here that's about to go home. They stay in a lockdown block. They don't have no tablets. They go through the same thing where they get refused rec. They don't have no books to read. And then you in a so much hostile environment, even if you see a guy like that, you don't even really want to loan out your tablet because this individual may take your tablet and steal your tablet. Yeah. Because he's so in need of a tablet because the environment he in, they done made it so much of a hostile environment that he just needs to be able to get on the phone. So now he wants to steal your tablet. So you can't let nobody use the tablet. So now this dude is just in the black box. Yeah. So now this is the same type of dude that probably did 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that's in a lockdown block, that's about to go out there to society. That could be your neighbor, his neighbor, the next person's neighbor, and this is how they releasing people.
Wow. Here in North Carolina, we just had something like this happen. We had someone that was incarcerated. He was in something called Icon, which was locked down all day. And he went from that. I think that he had a short period of time of being stepped down, but not very long before he was released from prison completely. He goes out, he kills his auntie and kills himself. So, I mean, when I hear stories like that, I think the system really failed him. For him to go from being locked down 24 hours a day, here on Icon, they can't even go outside during that time. So locked down 24 hours a day, and similar to your supermax, having all those restrictions, It just feels like it would be a huge shock for anybody, let alone someone that has been incarcerated for a long period of time and has mental issues that's linked to the prison system and the things that they do, and you release them into society. What a shock that is.
You know, for me, I come off of long-term confinement. What April's talking about, you know, it's the same, Wesley. Here, you'll come out, you got to strip down naked. That's one thing that's very demoralizing. A man standing there looking at you in an undressed state, and then they want to nitpick you. And then when you put your clothes back on, they want to put handcuffs on you and manhandle you because you're wanting to go to rec because they got to do a job that they signed up to do. And then once you're outside, they'll go in your cell, search your cell, say you got a pair of fingernail clippers in your cell and you don't supposed to have them on long term. They're going to take your fingernail clippers. Say you got your radio hanging up in the window where you can catch a signal to listen to your radio. They're going to snatch your radio down and take your radio. You know, these are things that scare people from wanting to go outside, from wanting to get that recreation. And like you just stated, and like April just stated, when you send people back out into society with a mindset that they just was in lockup, our viewers can imagine locking a dog. If you've ever locked a dog in a black box and kept it in the dark and only fed it, gave it water, and that's all you do with that dog. And then when you turn that dog loose out of that box, that dog's its psyche is so confused, it don't know whether to run, it don't know whether to attack you and bite you, it don't know what to do.
Right.
And that's how these human beings, the prison system is releasing human beings back into society. And that's how they're reacting. They're responding.
Yeah, you treat people like animals, and then you're surprised when they act like animals.
And that's why I said they dehumanize you, and it's unjust. It's like how Pig said, they come in there, they take the nail clippers, they take stuff, they take your red. They don't treat you like a human. Or they make you strip down, and then you strip down, and then they tell you all down your fingernail like you're not going to rec. They dehumanize you.
Yeah.
They making the environment like that. The system they need. That's why I say rearrange the structure and promote positive and productive environment. Promote a positive and productive environment. They're not doing that. They're promoting aggressive, hostile environment, and that's what's happening.
Yes. And you know, Wesley, when I was first put on long-term confinement, when I come to prison 20 years ago, they used to have a teacher in the block that taught GED. And you would have, even if you were on long-term confinement, you had to get your GED. You had to do that work inside that cell, and the teacher would stand in the block and teach the GED. You could get other resources and develop your mind to grow. You know, you could get books and law books. And there's a lot of brothers and sisters that's locked behind these doors now that's not getting these resources to fully develop themselves. And then even if they're not going back into society right then, they're turned back on the yard. And when they get on the yard in regular population, their psyche's so messed up, they may think somebody's plotting on them. Somebody's trying to rob them. Somebody's trying to do something harmful to them, and they react. They act out, and they end up back on lockup because lockup becomes a safe haven. Because, like you said, schizophrenia, paranoia, you know, you think the officers is plotting against you. And then our kids has got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got to understand that when you turn a person loose in society with this mindset, they can see you at Walmart, and this same person can think you're looking at them the wrong way, and they attack you out of fear, not out of aggression, not because they hate you. They're acting out of fear because their psyche is being developed by the officers to believe that everybody is trying to bring some kind of negative or some kind of harm to their life until the system, like Mr. Wesley said, until the system is designed to rehabilitate, to give people the tools they need to mentally improve, to physically improve, we're going to have a crime rate as they're having in Washington, D.C. right now. If anybody's paying attention to the news and paying attention to what Donald Trump is doing, and these people are complaining about in the streets of Washington, D.C. right now, this is what causes this. This, what Wesley is bringing to us today, people, this is what causes this. They brainwash people. They develop people into these type of people and then turn them back on the street because they know they want to do something to come back to prison, to keep the prisons full, to keep their pockets full.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was getting ready to get to. I was getting ready to say, if you look at it, they call it a system. And if you look at the percentage of people that they say that comes back to prison is real high. And that's why it's real high. It's like it's set up like that. They make, from last time I checked it out, I think it was like $42,000 for each inmate that they have incarcerated.
Yeah.
So it's about money. It seems like it is about money because it's no way that it could be about rehabilitation where you have it structured like this. That's not the structure to help somebody rehabilitate themselves. That's the structure to have somebody go out there and fail. And that's exactly what's been going on. That's exactly what's happening. And that's what I wanted to say is, no matter what the situation, that's just like what you were saying, Pig. I have 27 years in the prison system. I have going on 21 years straight now. And no matter what, it's just like this even in life. Things not going to always be the way that you want it to be or the way that they should be. So you have to think for yourself. You have to rehabilitate. At the end of the day, you have to put forth energy and help yourself and rehabilitate yourself. Even though that I'm in this situation and I'm locked up and I'm in solitary confinement, I built a strong support system around. That's just like how I even reached out with y'all. I stay out of trouble. I don't let these people get in my way where they can't put me on restriction for 2 years or 3 years and take my tablet because I know this is my sense of communication. This is how I communicate with my family. Yeah. I need my visits. That's my support. So I know that, and I know this is it's a mental. Everything is not physical. I know that I have to be mentally strong. My family keep me mentally strong. Yeah. My support system keep me mentally strong. That's how I even was able to write and do an audio book from behind these walls and being incarcerated. So I don't want guys to look at it and be like, damn, just because I'm messed up in this situation and they got me. It's a broken system. No, you can still rehabilitate yourself. It starts with self. No matter what situation you in, even if you don't have a support system, build a strong support system around you. No matter where you at, incarcerated in United States or anywhere in the world. Stay focused. We know the prison system is a broken system. It fails. Yeah. We know that we have to keep on fighting. A lot of us guys are fighting for our lives back.
And the system is setting you up for failure.
Yeah, the system is setting you up for failure. So know that, and that should help you to strive even harder. It helps me to strive even harder. And that's what made me think, like, wow, I want to fight back and make sure that I get back out there on the other side of this fence. And that's what made me do my audio book. And that's what made me do my music from inside these walls and built my strong support system around me because I know it's a battle. It's an ongoing battle. And I just want guys to still know, no matter what situation you're in, that you still have hope. You still have hope.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Wesley, for coming on and talking with us about this important topic. You are the first person to come on our podcast from Ohio and share what's happening in Ohio. So we're kind of dubbing you our Ohio spokesperson to keep us informed about Ohio. And we look forward to many more conversations with you and on different topics. So I just wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast.
You're absolutely welcome. I just want to give a shout out to a couple of people. I want to shout out to my Chantel from Pure Leak Hair. She does hair. Shout out to K-Way Love. Check out K-Way Love on Instagram. Check out Pure Leak Hair. You can check out my podcast, upcoming podcast on UWC-TV_live. I got 2 singles that you can check out. That's on every streaming platform. It's called Make It Bounce and Back Home. I got an upcoming audio book. Stay on the lookout for that. And I'm working on a documentary that's in the upcoming too.
Okay.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on.
That wraps up today's conversation with Wesley Thompson. His courage to speak out about the realities inside an Ohio prison reminds us that these aren't just stories, they are people's lives. And the conditions we allow behind those walls reflect on all of us. If Wesley's words opened your eyes, please share this episode and help us shine a light where so many try to keep it dark. Follow Inmate Tea with AMP for more voices that deserve to be heard. I'm April and my co-host Pig, and we thank you for listening and remind you to stay aware, stay compassionate, and keep the conversation going. Make sure you like and subscribe.